Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wildcard game. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading him out, the former Stanford man. At quarterback, it's Davis Mills.
And he comes into this wild card round off of a really good regular season, better than 30 touchdown passes. And he said he feels like he can take some shots against the secondary. In fact, in our meeting, he said not only can he take shots, he expects to do it early.
And right off the bat, Mills looking to throw it. Throw over the mid. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson rolling to his right. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 26 yards. And the Ravens will strike first here in this wild card matchup. No problem there on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position. And only one play to score it. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. One semi-factor, if you want to call it that was brought up in the papers this morning here, Charles. We got a dome team on the road in a cold weather environment, first round of the playoffs in January. Do you think that's a big deal?
Ordinarily, I say no. But in this situation, because you're used to that perfectly controlled environment, some coaches will want their teams exposed to it. If you're coming from a warm weather place and, even getting outside of your dome doesn't really help you, a lot of times they'll go on the road a little bit earlier. Go to a cold weather place, go to a place where there's a little bit of weather and practice there that week before the game to try and simulate the conditions they expect come game day.
Adafe Owe in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both first and second down. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. That's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. He's got a man complete, and he's is going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 48 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Dobbins, touchdown, Baltimore. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Houston set to take over. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. A first down throw for Mills. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake, but I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
The end result, 21 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll run with Dobbins, and they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Dobbins once more, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Ravens continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And now out comes Houston. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. He'll get this out wide to Penny. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Mills to throw it. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Texans send the punter out as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That's taken inside his own 40. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They go play action now. Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And he's got it inside the 10. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Houston's offense taking over again. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll lose yardage here back to the 15. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. On 3rd down, here's Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Returnable here from the 38. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. And, you know, listen, there's 2 ways to get the number 7 seed. You can back into it or you can charge your way into it and seize it. But ultimately, once you're here, you can throw that out the window. You've got to come to play.
Yeah, you just think of that phrase, any given Sunday or Saturday as the case may be. And even though this is a 2 versus 7 matchup, don't think for 1 second that this game's going to be a pushover. Anything can happen once the playoffs begin.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Mills. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Adafe Owe. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
That's complete to Mooney. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Texans. Darnell Mooney, 84 yards. And the Texans are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Extra point put through by Boswell. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Here comes Mr. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, leading out this offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Another run here with Dobbins. And he's got some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 57 yards. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On 2nd and 12, Mills. And this will be caught by Mooney. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That catch moves him over 100 yards now for this wild card game. And a first down as well. play fake. Mills can't get away, and he's taken down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. To try again after the sack. Mills, and this is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
And he's got room. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 61 yards. And the Ravens extend their lead yet again. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Houston set to take over. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. On 1st and 10, Mills. And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Mills. That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. And quickly, they get to the line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Mills. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown. Darnell Mooney with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans are able to at least get one score back. Boswell good with the extra point, and they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field.
Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play, but sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here.
He's got a man complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They give him a gain of 37.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Mills. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice
and that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens have widened the gap now to 50 points. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. First down, Mills. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw is Mills. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Pat Surtain. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy. and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Well, and Dean trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A gain there of 30 big ones. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. A great play there as time expires in the first half. And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after here coming up. And the route is on here in this first half. So we're at halftime in this AFC Wildcard matchup. As we'll see, a look around the NFL, we'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the 3rd quarter. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
They go play action with Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
On 3rd down, Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a pretty good end result. Not one you expected when the play began.
And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. A shotgun snap and again to Dobbins. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. Play action. Now Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
He'll buy some time right. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Jackson.
Rolling to his right. And it'll be intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Texans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Mills on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. A nice grab there for a guy coming off a terrific season, one that saw him have over 100 catches.
And when you have that many catches, that means you're a full part of the offense. And let's face it, he's been as good as anyone in the NFL this year. So figures he's going to play a big role in whether his team can advance in the playoffs.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Throwing, Mills. Got this into the hands of the tight end, Jordan. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Mills. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Mills now. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. Right back to Dobbins on first. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Dobbins running out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Jalen Petrie coming up to bring him down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. From 13 yards out. And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense set to regain possession. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Working out of the gun, Mills. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Mills. And that will be incomplete.
Nice, smart enough to avoid the taunting war, but I'm guaranteeing quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
This is taken at about the 14. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Ravens taking the field. And they have made this look easy. There's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
And he's going to have a Ravens first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens continue to pour it on here in the 4th. The extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Mills. And that's complete to Cooks. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Mills. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Mills to the air again. Complete to Mooney on the slant. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. In there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. After the sack on first down, Mills. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Adafe Owe in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. There's the former first-round receiver, Marquise Brown, bringing out the rest of this Raven offense. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. They go play action now. Jackson. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 47 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Here's Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's Hollywood, Marquise Brown, who finishes it off with the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind them?
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing? They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's got this all the way down to the 5-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. He'll buy some time right. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? success. You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now out comes Houston. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw, Mills. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try to throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
3rd and long for Mills. And that is incomplete.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Here's a give to Dobbins. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
On 3rd down, Jackson rolling to his right. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 13-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, they certainly have the look of a team with something to prove, don't they? All week, as we prepared for this game, we kept reading about how they said they're going to play a full 60 minutes this week. Has nothing to do with their opponent. No disrespect intended, but they wanted to be people of their word, playing this thing all the way out, trying to finish it strong.
The point after is good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And at this point, maybe you say, you know, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't win their division, but did earn a wild card berth. It does appear, however, that their season is just a few minutes away from ending in one-and-done fashion. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, here's Mills. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Mills. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Trayvon Walker in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.